Hi everyone, I'm Judy and this is Judy's Take. So today I wanted to kind of do a quick recap on the events that happened this week. First of all, I wanted to talk about the Woodward tapes. And I know we've been talking about Woodward since last week, but he came out with the recordings or whatever that Trump wanted to be recorded for some reason, even though that's the guy who took down Nixon. But, hey, whatever. He thought he could outsmart him or whatever. But, anyways, um, so what did we learn? We learned that um, Trump knew about how um, how worse this was than what he was portraying it to be, the coronavirus. He really played it down, and he admitted to playing it down. And so, what else did we learn? We learned that his people didn't care, first of all, and they just straight up denied it. If you guys remember, Kayleigh McEnany just stood at the podium and just just said straight up, um, he never played it down, even though like we heard it with our own ears that he said that he likes to play it down. And they tried, so then after they denied it and then they couldn't deny it anymore, that's always what the strategy is with the Trump administration. It's always like, well, if they can't prove it, let's deny it. Even if they can prove it, let's deny it. And then when that's not working anymore for them, they realize it's not working. They're like, okay, well then let's change the narrative. For example, they sat there and said, oh, well, of course, any good leader wouldn't want to cause panic, and he did the right thing. And it's like, no, we needed to be informed, of what was going on, and how bad this thing was. You know, who didn't want to cause panic? George Bush, because he didn't freak out when he had heard about the towers, the attacks. But at the same time, he was honest about what was going on. He addressed the American people, you know, um, whatever, like him or not, like his policies or not. Either way, he did a very good job that day. So, but which I'll get to 9/11 because that just passed. When was it? Friday or Saturday? Yeah. Yeah, I think it was Friday. And today's Sunday. So, anyways, let's see. What was I going to say next? Okay, yeah. So, it wasn't. So, they tried to change the narrative. They try to say, well, yeah, a good leader wouldn't cause panic. And it's like, yeah, but he also lied and he purposely downplayed it. Like, he didn't just downplay it, like, he lied. Like, he told Woodward straight up, oh, this is 5 times deadlier than the flu. Like, this thing is pretty bad. And so that means he knew. He knew that it was airborne. He knew that it was 5 times deadlier than the flu. And then he also knew that it wasn't just the older population who was getting infected. But what did he go out and tell at his rallies, on Fox News? What did he go and say? Oh, this is just like oh, it's just a little sniffle. It's just some sniffles. This is all going to go away. This is, just like the flu. So it's BS. It's BS. Like, he knew. Not only did he know, He downplayed it on purpose. He admitted to downplaying it on purpose, and he lied. Like, if you have a piece of information and you say the opposite, that's called a lie. And that's what he did. He knew it was deadlier than the flu, and he gave the opposite. Um, he gave the opposite information, so he lied. And then this whole freaking thing about the damn mask, that really has, like, he literally, like, his actions um, have really killed a lot of people. That's why there's that hashtag now going around. He lied, people died. And it's true, you know. A lot more people would have protected themselves, would have protected others from catching this thing, and we would have had a lot more testing done if he straight up sat there in a rally and said, slow the testing down. You don't think that they're going to do it? Of course they're going to do it. So, anyways, yeah, I mean, he's a piece of shit, right? And that's really what we learned, that he's still a piece of shit. And I'm not surprised that he knew. I'm not. I never thought he was just too dumb to understand. Like, no, like, that's the worst part. Like, that's what people need to realize. That's the worst part about him and about most of his GOP enablers in Congress, is that they know better. They actually know the things that will, keep people alive. They do. They know all these things, but they don't care because they want to win their elections. They don't care about human lives. And, they only care about things that they care about, like money and power. But see, even if that is their case, I don't understand them. I think that in a way they are dumb in a way, because our economy is crap right now. Like, people are not feeling what the stock market is feeling. And I've told you guys before, like, that means nothing to us. It seems now that the stock market is starting to feel the effects of that. I mean, I don't think it's going to go into a recession or depression anytime soon, but I don't think it's going to go as well as it has been. But what was I saying? Yeah, so if they were, common sense smart, they would sit there and be like, well, this is really affecting people. And it's really affecting their income. And if we don't have people buying stuff, we have people becoming homeless all of a sudden. Hi. Then hey buddy. Then that's going to affect us overall in our quest to get the economy up and moving. So sorry, my kid walked through. Anyways, so yeah, one of the other things too that so I'm going to end this short. So one of the other things that I wanted to discuss is the fact that 9/11 happened. Well, the remembrance of 9/11, 19th anniversary. And usually I would be very like, oh hey, where was everyone? I'd be like in remembrance, in that mode, with everyone. I would be. But honestly, this year I wasn't feeling it. And I sat there and I was curious about why I wasn't feeling it, Like, I asked myself, like, what is it about this year that I'm not feeling it like as strongly as I have been all the years prior? And I sat there and thought to myself, like, you know, no disrespect or anything like that. And I didn't even say anything until the next day, because I didn't want to, I wanted to everybody to remember that day, you know. But honestly, I thought to myself, and I came to the realization that we literally lost the amount of people that we lost on the attacks of 9/11, plus all of the service members who have lost their lives in the wars that came after in Iraq and Afghanistan. The thing is that even though, like, with all of those, that's still like not even a month's worth of all the deaths that we have here just from coronavirus. And that's just sad. Like, I told one of my friends, I said, it's freaking sad but infuriating at the same time. Like, we sit here and we remember these people who died 19 years ago, and we always say, never forget, never forget. And yet we just act like the people who are dying in that amount every single month here are nothing. We act like their lives are nothing. Why are we not remembering them? Why are we not as outraged about Americans dying? And then I came to the conclusion that, you know what? They never really cared. People never really cared about human lives. They didn't care that Americans died on 9/11. I mean, a lot of people did. I'm generalizing, okay? But a lot of people didn't care necessarily the fact that human lives were lost. No, it just gave them a reason to be hateful towards the Muslims. That's really what it was. Because if you look back in time, a lot of those conservatives even got mad at George Bush for going and visiting the mosques and going and saying that it's not Islam that is the problem. And they even got upset at him back then, putting him into the category of rhino and this and that. And the party, that hatred, that sickness that was in the far reaches of that party, it just got bigger after 9/11, honestly. And it's gotten us to the point where they're no longer in the shadows. They boldly come out and say that they hate so and so. They hate this group and they hate that group. And they're proud about it. And I don't know. I guess just coming to that conclusion and the fact that we're losing so many people this year, it's just crazy, man. And honestly, it's time for a change. And sometimes I get tired of talking about. That's why I'm not on here that often anymore, because it's exhausting. It's exhausting to listen to this guy day in and day out, and just wait and wait and wait and wait for the election. But luckily, we're like 50 some days away now. So I can't wait. Anyways, thank you guys for listening. Thank you for watching, and I will see you guys next time, okay?